Python also has the ability to read CSV files. So in order for it to be able to do that, I'm going to first get a CSV file. I have one saved on my desktop. And then what I'm going to do is upload the file. So file rather than folder, sorry. Here's my CSV file. Then you can see what it is a comma separated value file where the first row indicates the column headings of something like a spreadsheet, and then each one of these other lines represents a record. So the sepal length of the first record on line 2 is 5.1. The sepal width of the first record on line 2 is 3.5, and so on and so on. So it's organized a little bit differently than a JSON file, but it's the same information. So in order to be able to have Python read it, I'm going to start with import CSV, and then I'm going to create a list, which I'm going to be putting the dictionaries into in a moment. And then with this method, or this function called the open function, I'm going to open the file. And I'm going to use a second parameter of R for reading the file. And then I'm going to read it into an object, a file object called file. And then I'm going to create another variable that's actually going to read the file and put it into a CSV format. And then a loop. So for each row that's contained within the CSV file, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my flowers list that's currently empty, I'm going to append it. So that each row is going to be that is a dictionary, is going to be put into my list. So there I have it. In order to be able to see it, what I'm going to do is print it out, my list, so I can take a look at what's actually inside of it. And as you can see, I have a square bracket to start off my list, a square bracket at the end, way down here, to end my list. And it's hard to read, but I've got sepal.length and then that key, and then the first element, or sorry, first value that goes with it is 5.1, and then sepal.width, and then the first value is 3.5. So it's in there, and it's set up as a list of dictionaries. So I can do now whatever I could do before with a list of dictionaries. For example, what I'm going to do is get all of the sepal lengths, and I'm going to use list comprehension to do that. I'm going to say wherever I have x of sepal length, for x in hours. So now I have a list of, for all the elements in my list of dictionaries that had a key of x sepal length, for in a for loop, right? Each element of flowers is going to be coming out of the list and be represented by this temporary variable x, an enhanced for loop. So now what I can do is I can print out, for example, that list to see what's actually contained within it. So when I run it, now I can see that what I have is just the values that go along with the keys, go along with the key specifically of sepal.length.